Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tech Informist. This is episode 49, recorded live Wednesday, March 25th, 2015. My name is Kevin Harvell, and I'm joined today not by JJ Hammond, but by Brad Whiteside. Brad, how are you doing today?
Doing well, Kevin. Doing well.
What? See, we're all thrown off with JJ not being here.
I know
You
it's
know,
weird.
the high energy guy. He had a few appointments that he had to take care of today, so unfortunately JJ will be unable to join us, but he will be back on Friday. So we're looking forward to having Brad join us. He's been a contributor to, can't remember if you've done something for Tech Informist yet.
Mostly STL Tech Talk,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
getting ready to do some stuff for Tech Informist. Mostly a couple of Android handsets that I'm getting my hands on
yeah,
for the first time, so that should be exciting.
yeah. Primarily a Windows Phone user over there. He's going to get
I am.
some Android experience. So,
Should be interesting.
yeah, looking forward to seeing what your thoughts are on Android being a big Windows Phone user.
Well, I'm really excited too on the two handsets I'm getting. They both will have Lollipop, and I think Lollipop is a really nice looking, OS. So that'll be nice to just start fresh with that too.
Yeah, you're not going to be dealing with Kit Kat or ice cream sandwich or anything like that. You're
Jelly
getting them.
bean.
Yeah, you're getting some current software here, so that's good, and I think you really like it. The Nexus 6 is a very very good device, and the G Flex 2. I mean, I've only had a few minutes and have also spent very little time with it at CES, so looking forward to see what your thoughts are on that.
Indeed, indeed.
All right, so let's go ahead and move into the news of the day. And I'll go ahead and lead this off, Brad. I know you've got some great stories coming up, so in traditional format, we will rotate. I'll go ahead and start this off with talking about the Apple Watch. We know that you're gonna, if you go into an Apple store starting on April 10th, I believe, is when pre-orders will start. You can go in and set up a 15-minute appointment to talk with quote unquote Apple geniuses, and you can kind of look at the different ones and have your own personal time, trying different bands on, seeing which one is actually going to work since you got three different versions. Well, Apple is doing a kind of doing some sales retraining for their associates, and they're wanting the salespeople to focus more on building trust and offering fashion views to help kind of upsell some of the watch bands in particular. Because I mean, whenever you buy a sport edition, you'll get the regular kind of rubberized band that'll come with it, but then you also get a separate band, I believe, as well. So that is a little different of what they are wanting to do. And looking through the story from 9to5mac.com, they show some images of there's a girl standing there and she's dressed a certain way, and to talk about she hasn't worn a watch in a long time, so she doesn't know what to choose. What are you going to try to suggest to her? And because I mean, there's two different sizes, there's three different versions, there's a whole lot of things for people to choose from. So it's interesting they're going after this as more fashion piece, but that's what I think Apple's wanting this to be, is not just a technology accessory, but a fashion accessory as well. So, Brad, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's pretty similar to what Microsoft kind of did with the band. I mean, they're limited just to the three sizes. They had their little display, and you go up and try them, and I'm a medium or a large or whatever. And but here in their case, they actually, like you said, they have all the different bands that they can put on there, and they're kind of making it more fashionable, so you could like pick what interests you or fits your needs or what have you. And I think that's really cool, and especially for people who are really big into the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah, and I know another thing that they're wanting to do as well is to make sure, try to upsell, upgrade people if you're still using like an iPhone 4S or a 5S, 5C, trying to get you to upgrade your device as well. So
Yes, please go to the iPhone 6. It is iPhone 6 hands down is the best iPhone yet, and I think it's not only a beautiful device, but my fiance has one, and it just it works. It just works. That should be their tagline. It just works.
right. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes, and very exciting few weeks coming up here in the world of technology. With you got Build later next month, and you've got the launch of the Galaxy S6, the HTC One M9, and the Apple Watch. And I'm
Yes.
sure I'm missing a few things as well.
Coming up a little later, I have a little information from Build, so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
So speaking of your stories, talk about Boeing and see what they've got.
So Boeing has a patent that they just put in for a Star Trek-like force field technology for vehicles. And try to do this in layman's terms, but basically, actually, I'll just read straight from the site. The concept being behind Boeing's force field goes something like this. A sensor mounted on the vehicle would detect a shockwave caused by a nearby explosion. A computer then figures out the range detection of the shockwave based on the sensor data so that it can know how to defend against it. As with all things in life, timing is everything. Then, an arc generator creates a second medium by initiating an electronic arc that travels along the conductive path via laser system that emits a series of pulses, the combination of which ionizes the atmosphere between the vehicle and the shockwave and creates a plasma field. That is a whole lot of techno mumbo jumbo, but
Yeah,
I thought this was really interesting because growing up as a kid, sci-fi has always been one of my favorite go-to genres, and I never thought in a million years we would have anything remotely like this. And here it is, hey, Boeing's right in our backyard in St. Louis, and they're getting ready to throw out this patent, and that's pretty cool. I like that.
right.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
I've watched numerous variations of the Star Trek series from the original, Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, all that. And also Independence Day. It was a very great movie back in the mid '90s with Will Smith and a few other people. It was, just seeing those alien ships and stuff. Coming into the Earth's atmosphere and big cities around the world, and all the fighter planes are heading towards it, and they go to launch missiles, and it hits the force fields, and you're like, oh, this isn't going to be as easy as they thought. So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting technology, and looking at the drawing that they've got here with the Humvee, and just showing how if they emit these this quote unquote force field kind of thing, and it'll like push rockets or whatever is being launched their way and just make it fall and explode, you know,
I mean,
in a distance away. It's like,
yeah, and they say timing is everything. I mean, I wonder if they could do that with bullets. Because if they could do that with bullets, I mean, then you're really onto something.
yeah, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, it's probably more so going to be used for military
Right,
purposes,
yeah. I couldn't imagine
not many
us
other
getting a hold of
reasons.
that anytime soon.
But talking about all these missing airliners and stuff out of China or wherever that they were, Malaysia. That's what it was. Talk about the one may have been shot down and stuff. I believe the one from last year they talked about may have been shot down, but maybe that's something that they can integrate into their airplanes as well to help with that to protect passenger planes. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this. So let's talk a little bit about the Pony Express now. Not talking about guys riding out of St. Joseph, Missouri on horseback trying to get the mail to the next town over as fast as possible. Talking about Google with Gmail, looking to kind of make it easier for you to receive bills in your Gmail and also pay the bill right there from within Gmail. So instead of going into your bank app and paying your bills that way online, you might be able to, in the not too distant future, be able to pay your bills online right there within Gmail. And I don't know, there's a lot of privacy and a lot of security kind of things that you got to worry about here. So this is a great story from Recode, who kind of was the first site to actually post about this. And it just talks about a service fitting Google's ongoing desire to bring all of the world's information online. Most notably, its Google Books project, which has so far digitized well over 30 million volumes. And with Pony Express, Google could suck in the type of financial data that would allow it to expand into new businesses. Credit card bills and payment history be a gateway to industries such as personal finance or lending. And this data could be used to refine how advertisements are targeted to individuals on Google as well, YouTube, and partnering sites. So, not really an estimated date of this service being available from what I've been able to see, but you know, uh, we'll see. They've got the soft card technology. Google, I mean, obviously they're doing away with soft card, but they're utilizing Google Wallet more, making a more focused attention, on the service itself. I don't know. Do you think that's
Yeah, it
something that
should.
you would use?
I don't know, cause like I just even if it was in, let's say, Outlook, I don't know if I would use it simply because I tend to go to the sites that it's that I'm paying on, and I just go there, pay my bill, and leave, go to the next one. I mean, maybe that's kind of the old way of doing it. Maybe this might work better than what I normally do, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd use that right away.
Yeah, I would definitely. Personally, I think I would give myself some time to let this work
Right,
itself
right. I
out.
mean, after all, we're
But,
paying bills and using money, and you don't want any security breaches of any kind.
God, no, because I mean that's all you hear about anymore is this site's been hacked. This site's
Which,
been
by the
hacked.
way, if talking about security breach, real quick, if you have a Twitch account, change your password because they were compromised.
Yeah, I just got
So,
the email I believe it was sometime yesterday, talking about that. I'm like, oh, nice. So yeah, if you haven't been notified already, just go ahead and change your password because apparently they had a little security breach as well. So let's talk about how to learn a new language and a different way that you can do this.
so I obviously am a big Windows guy. I've got everything under the sun it seems like about them, but I have an Xbox One, and Rosetta Stone just put out a new app on Xbox One, and I downloaded it last night, and we were playing with it a little bit, and it's pretty kind of corny a little bit, maybe to an extent, but it gets the point across. Like you actually start learning a few things, and it kind of gave me that really good fuzzy feel good feeling about it. It's like this is really cool. Like you know, just a little kid down the street could be just screwing around on his Xbox, and maybe it just interests him, and he might look into it, and maybe he might learn something. And it right now it only supports Spanish and English, so I think down the line, they might add more, and I mean they could even make something out of it. They could add DLC, and uh, they could make it to where pay for this language and pay for certain you know levels of it, so make it harder. But it's definitely something worth looking into if you have an Xbox One. It's neat. I don't know a lick of Spanish, but my fiance does, so she kind of helped me through it last night.
All
But
right.
what do you
Now
think
I've
about this, Kevin?
I've played around with Rosetta Stone in the past and years ago, and I know they've got all these different language packs, and then within there you've got all the different levels, like level 1 through 4 of Thai, for example. How does the Xbox One version work in relation to what I'm used to, where they'll show four different images, and they'll have like the word that it's supposed to be, and then you just try to start doing the whole word association with visual
That's
learning.
actually a really good question. So they have this Explorer mode
Okay.
where it looks like you land at an airport. And at this airport, you can click on little items around the airport to give you, oh, this is what this word is, and this is what this word is. And then there's actually conversations that you can have with people. The cool part is, though, is it's an actor who can actually speak Spanish,
Okay.
and when you're talking to them, it's like they're talking to you in a way. I mean, obviously, it's a little slower conversation, so like when they're not talking, they're like freezed, all smiling and happy, which is probably the good fuzzy warm feeling I had. But it's neat, you know. It's really cool that they got people who could not only speak it but were into this kind of thing, and, or so it seems, and it just makes it more enjoyable to learn that
Okay.
way, I think.
So was it like actual video or was it?
It's a video of the person who looks like they're have a green screen behind them, and then like the backdrop is kind of more of it's like you opening a book, like a
Okay,
kid's book,
right.
maybe even, but
So
so something like that.
okay. So have you used Duolingo in the past?
No, I haven't.
No. I'm wondering how the experience on with this Rosetta Stone on Xbox One, if the people behind Duolingo would be interested in doing something like this on the Xbox One as well to help expand their reach. Because I know it's a very popular way people have been using to learn second and third and fourth languages.
Well, I mean, with what is the Universal apps coming up now called, I guess, what, Windows apps now? Um, that's a very real possibility. I mean, because they could launch it across the computer and the Xbox and maybe even the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very easy. I assume what you were able to play around with was that free.
Yeah, that was free download. I don't know if they're going to, add more languages for free and kind of just have these starter packs for free, and then you can pay more for ones that you're interested in. I think that would be cool. I just think anything helping to learn people, learn a new language is really cool, because I wish here in the United States we were forced to learn at least another language.
Yeah,
I
it's like
never
a
got the
requirement.
opportunity to do that, so.
Yeah, I did not take the opportunity when I was in high school, but obviously when I was in high school it was a totally different time than when you were in high school.
Yeah.
Oh man, so very very interesting, very very interesting. I'm glad you put that in there. So future batteries could be made from recycled packing peanuts. Now we all know styrofoam is not very good when it comes to being in landfills and stuff like that. So there's a good way to use these now, and a company over in, let's see, Purdue University. This story is actually from Popular Science, which seems to be a very, gosh, it's just, I'm pulling more and more things from Popular Science on a weekly basis. And when I saw this, I was like, this is really, really cool. So I'm going to try to say his name, and I'm going to say Vilas Pol, Vilas Pol, who's a chemical engineer at Purdue University, unpacked new materials for his lab. The huge number of packing peanuts overwhelmed him. His team was dumping them out by the thousands, he says. The many packing peanuts are made from biodegradable materials like cornstarch. They also contain chemicals that are harmful to human health and slow down the degrading process, making them take up an enormous amount of space in landfills. So Pol and his team devised a way to reuse packing peanuts by turning them into rechargeable batteries. And the team presented their work this past Sunday at the meeting of the American Chemical Society in Denver. Now, kind of the process they use to do this is baking them at 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. They turn the puffy peanuts into thin microsheets of carbon, and sheets like these are often used in rechargeable batteries as one of the layers between which charged lithium particles move when the battery is being depleted or charged. And once they're baked, the packing peanut's crystal structure holds the lithium ions more effectively than other carbon lattices, which means this material could make batteries that can hold a charge for longer than batteries that are currently available. So we all know if you've ordered things online, and depending on who you order them from, Amazon, for example, now they'll ship out stuff in little plastic air pockets, to help with padding. But a lot of people still use packing peanuts to ship stuff out, and I think this is really a sweet way to make use of them because man, they're just a pain in the butt once you start getting.
Once you don't need them, yeah.
Yeah, you get big boxes and there's just thousands of them in there, and they're the static, they're sticking to everything, and It's
I
just
mean,
it's a nightmare.
it'd be interesting to see how well these batteries perform, but even if they don't perform incredibly well, at least it's something that you can use
Exactly.
compared to the packing peanuts, which are almost a one and done thing anymore. It's like you get the box, you pull out the item that you want, and then 9 times out of 10, you just throw the box and the packing peanuts in the trash.
Right.
I know I do. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're somebody that ships things somewhat on a regular basis as well. So
Right, right.
just real quick, Paul said that his method could be easily scaled up and ready for commercial use within 2 years because the packing peanuts are so widely available, and the process is pretty straightforward according to his team.
That's pretty cool too. My sister actually went to Purdue, so I think that's pretty cool. It's coming straight from there.
Yeah, yeah, I think it is pretty cool. So with Metro PCS, talk a little bit about what you've got here.
So Android Central did a little post on Metro PCS offers unlimited talk text data with 1 GB of 4G data for $30 a month. That is a really cool price point. I currently have AT&T Go
Hmm.
on my 1520, and I do the $45 a month for 1.5 gigabytes. So if I could save $15 a month and just hack off 500 gig or 500 megs, I mean I could probably survive on that, and it would be $15 I'd save every month. That's pretty cool. Although I don't know on Metro PCS's reach here in St. Louis, but I know it's pretty big on the East Coast. Because when I was there at New York a little while back, I saw a lot of advertising for them. But either way, I think this is really cool. I think we're going to start seeing more and more price drops in the phone area with all this competition, especially with T-Mobile and their Un-carrier. They're notorious right now for that, and that I think that's a good thing, though. Um, regardless of if you like Metro PCS or T-Mobile or Sprint, even at this point, they're shaking up the industry, and it's good for us, the consumer. And what do you think, Kevin?
Well, is this just 4G data or is this
As
LTE?
far as I know, it says 4G data for $30 a month. You can, however, get Metro PCS's latest promotional deal, which is unlimited 4G LTE data for $50 a month. Unlimited 50 is pretty nice. I think the closest that comes to that is Sprint's $60 a month. If you have an iPhone, it might not just be the iPhone, but I know iPhone for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I mean, I know I've seen some Metro PCS stores around St. Louis, and I think they do use the T-Mobile network. It's kind
Oh,
of
okay.
like T-Mobile's other main, prepaid. Like I think Cricket is now, AT&T. That Cricket uses AT&T's network,
Right, right.
so I think Metro
And
PCS
just
uses
a note real
T-Mobile's.
quick, Metro PCS is GSM, so that's SIM cards. So if you have like an unlocked AT&T phone, or I mean I know they're going to start carrying this Lumia 640 and 640, well, not 640 plus, that's not confirmed, but they will carry the 640. So
Hmm.
I mean it's something to look at if you have a family member who just needs a cheap phone for emergencies or whatnot, and it's something to think about.
Right. Yeah, I mean, somebody that is more focused on, needing talk minutes and, texting, but isn't a big data user. $30 a month.
Or if you're by Wi-Fi all the time like me.
Yeah, yeah. It's like me as well. I'm pretty much always on Wi-Fi the majority of my day. So nice, nice. So we mentioned Twitch a little while ago, and YouTube now with Google. It's one of those things. If you can't buy them, then beat them. So instead of the old adage, if you can't beat them, buy them, or can't beat them, join them. And it looks like Google is wanting to kind of like relaunch, some efforts to compete against Twitch since they were unable to buy Twitch when they looked to do that last year. So they're going to more broaden their live streaming services and kind of dabble in this gaming, sphere that Twitch has really made popular. And I think Brad, you were talking a little bit a while ago, or actually I think it was Alejandro, was talking about talking with the people over at Windows Central because Windows Central does a lot of Twitch gaming sessions using Xbox One and other consoles and stuff like that. So he was talking with them during their gaming sessions. But this is something that they're wanting to do, and I think it is really good. It said in early 2014, YouTube removed any mention of live events from its homepage, but much of YouTube's live content has long been dominated by foreign language news, obscure sports events, or hastily assembled hangout sessions. The new approach has been long overdue. So when Variety announced that Google was in talks to acquire the gaming streaming platform Twitch for $1 billion last summer, many assumed this would be the company's next step in the streaming business. And when that deal fell through, allegedly due to antitrust concerns, Amazon swooped in and picked Twitch up. So now YouTube is preparing to take on its former acquisition target head on, but it will be an uphill battle, of course, because Twitch is only 4 years old, which many people might be like, "Oh my gosh, really?" Because it's so advanced and it does really good with everything, and it's just growing like crazy.
Oh, that makes me feel kind of old. I feel like I started when it started now.
Yep, maybe you did. Yeah, maybe you did.
Yeah, I have had a Twitch account at least for 4 years. Because back in the days of Gears of War 3, an Xbox 360 game came out, the executive producer would always come on every week and tell us, hey, here's the updates for the game that's going to come out. And it was really cool to, kind of sit and watch, them kind of present a few things to us, give us a few feedbacks, do a little competition, and maybe win some cool gear. And, that was one instance of, Twitch being really neat. I've streamed a few games in the past. I haven't done too much recently. Been kind of back cataloged on games, but I really like Twitch. It's a good streaming service, and but I don't think competition's bad for it. I think if Google swoops in there and comes out with something maybe slightly better, maybe Twitch will rethink their strategy and come out with some cool incentives or additives or what have you, and I think it's good. I think it's a good thing.
Right. So I mean, one of my favorite things to do with Twitch is just go on there and see, whenever new games come out, just to see people playing the different levels and stuff like that. I mean, still I do not own a next gen console, but I did have a dream. I bought an Xbox One the other day. 'Cause, I mean, I keep seeing all these deals, and it's like, my gosh, you can go to I believe Costco and actually get it's just the standard version, standard Xbox One console with no extra games
For 300, was it?
yeah, it's 300 or something like that.
It was
320.
it was Costco or it was Sam's Club. It was $300. I don't know if that's still going.
I think it is Costco, but then I mean, for an extra $50, you can get a couple Assassin's Creed games.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or the Master Chief Collection that just launched.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they have pretty much fixed completely. It works great. It's a great, if you've played those games before, it's almost a must-have. And in line with the Twitch, what's nice with the Xbox One, if you go to, let's say, the game marketplace and you want to look up, a game that you're interested in, and just to see how much it is or something like that, they'll actually have a little window that you can click on, and you can watch somebody stream it right from the marketplace, which is cool because it's like you don't have to go in to Twitch completely, search for everything. You can just search for it through the marketplace. You find something you like, you can just click on the stream that's most popular at that time and watch them play. And I think that's pretty cool.
That is. I would probably spend more time doing that than I would actually playing games.
I actually found myself doing that last night a little bit before I went to bed.
If I had an Xbox One, I would probably be doing that a lot more than actually playing the games on the console that I bought.
Right.
That's sad, but that would probably be me. Oh, wow. All right, so tell us about this new little Surface rumor that you were able to dig
So
up.
I just saw this morning, and this is the first thing I've heard anything of a new Surface. But reports say that Microsoft will reveal a new Surface tablet with low-power Intel chip at Build 2015, which is a little more than a month away, about a
Yeah,
month and a couple of days.
yeah, it is about a month away.
So, I mean, this was on Windows Central, and they gave it a 9 out of 10 accuracy. They're almost spot on with their little accuracy checks. And this is exciting. I want to see a new device at Build. It almost doesn't matter what it is. I just want to see one new device.
All right. Now looking through here, it talks about it's more of a successor to the Surface 2, so not necessarily a
That would be
successor to the
good.
Pro
Um,
3.
I think they desperately need something like that. I would be interested in something like that. I need something portable. Right now, I've got my little Dell tablet that was on sale at the Microsoft Store over Christmas break,
Hmm.
and it's good for what it does, but I really want to get in the Surface arena, so that would be a good little way to do that.
Yeah.
That little nice $400 price point.
Yeah, so I mean, if this is not using, the ARM-based processor, so it would not be running, a Windows RT version, because I think Microsoft has said that they're kind of doing away with the RT version
Yeah,
as well. So I mean, this would be running, full Windows. I think that that would be good. They have not said anything yet about, any Surface Pro, revamps and what they're going to change up on that, but.
I also feel like the Surface Mini is never going to happen, and that's okay, because with phones like a 1520 or a Nexus 6 or all these 6-inch phones, nobody, I can't say nobody, but most people have a big phone that's big enough to where they don't need a 7-inch tablet
Mhm.
or even an 8-inch tablet. But the little 10-inch area, that's interesting. Like I said, I have my little 10-inch Dell, and it does pretty nice for what it is. And I think Microsoft really needs that quote-unquote Surface RT device back, or something similar to it, to fill that gap that's missing currently. Because right now they just have the 12-inch device, and then that's it. So.
Yeah, yeah. EDYG023, they're in the chat room. And I know Microsoft has got $150 off the current Surface Pro 3s, other than the 64 gigabyte version i3 model. I think that discount doesn't apply to that one. He's wanting to know if he should pull the trigger now on a discounted Pro 3 or wait for the Pro 4. And being a developer, yeah, 16 gig of RAM is where it's at currently. I think it maxes out at 8 gig of RAM. So I know with my i5 with 4 gig of memory, I kind of wish I did have the 8 gig because just
Uh-oh, we lose you, Kevin? Alright, hang on just a sec.
and well, it looks like we're
Oh,
back. So
there we go.
looks like
Cool.
Google's having some issues here today. But back to what I was saying with the Dell or the HP Stream. Somebody was talking about using the Windows 10 Tech Preview on like the Dell Venue Pro 8 and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And I've installed it on mine, but then it just kept having some glitches like that. It's not really
I feel like it's
optimized
not.
yet.
Yeah, I feel like it's not completely optimized for especially touch just
Yeah,
yet.
like
And
little
I
tablets and stuff.
I think later down the line it's going to be fantastic on a device like that. And maybe that'll be the reason they bring out a mini. But I guess me personally, I guess I don't need that 8-inch device. So.
Yeah. Well, kind of what I was thinking there, and somebody had mentioned, with their stuff. I'm like, well, imagine if, like with the Dell Venue, if they do not if the experience that they release for like the Dell Venue and the HP Stream 7, if that is more like Windows Phone instead of, what the experience you'll get on a Surface RT or on a Surface Pro 3. Yeah, I mean, because I can kind of see them doing that by, having the different SKUs because they talk about, Windows with Bing and things like
Right,
that.
exactly, exactly. Yep, it'll be very interesting next month. It'll be like Christmas.
Right. I mean, I know just what was it yesterday? They released the, 10.0041 or whatever for
Uh-huh.
the slow ring that had a couple of bug fixes from what was released last
Yeah.
week on Fast Ring.
On the fast, yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then they also made it where you can download, the ISO to do a fresh install from that version.
I think they also announced, but maybe it wasn't just yesterday. It might have been just yesterday. Google I/O, wasn't that supposed to be coming up in May?
Yeah,
Late May?
the registration opened up, I believe, on the 19th. So the 19th or 20th, but I think people were starting to get their confirmations if they, because it was like a drawing lottery kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I think they started sending out, okay, yes, you got in, you didn't, sorry. But yeah, Google I/O, I believe, is in June.
That'll be Christmas for other people.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to go out there sometime, but man, the expense of getting out there and staying.
It'd be cool to go to the build at least once, although
Yeah,
that is expensive as well.
yeah. I believe Gus is going to build. So
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I have a feeling that this new Surface device could possibly be handed out at build.
yeah, I would not be surprised. It's one of the big reasons why a lot of people like the Go's. Not just for
Get
the
that device, yeah.
information, it's to get whatever device that they're giving out. So yeah, that'll be very very interesting to see. So I guess we can move into our app and entertainment picks. I know you've got a few things in there
Yeah, I
as
got a
well.
couple.
Yeah. So if you want to go ahead and lead it off, I'll let you do that.
Sure. There is an app, and it is cross-platform. It's TripAdvisor. It is a very nice way to look up, areas around you, whether it be food or entertainment or stores of any kind, and to find them, see what other people think of them, and you can also rate them too. It's similar to, oh, I can't think right now. It's similar to your normal rating app online, but I feel like it's more intuitive. I feel like it's oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like it's better utilized by
Mhm.
people who care instead of just getting on there to trash a business because they had one bad experience.
Yeah.
Um, it's a really cool app. It's for iOS, Android, and Windows Phone, and it is free, which I forgot to put here, but you know that now, so it
Yeah.
is free.
Yeah. With TripAdvisor, I do love that app because if I'm getting ready to travel somewhere, I'll try to look and see what are the most popular, most highly rated things to see in a certain area. So
Yeah, that's actually how we found one of the new breweries that opened up here in St. Louis. I think it's Square One Brewery that we're gonna check out this weekend for my birthday.
yeah, nice, nice. How old are you going to be, Brad?
I am gonna be a ripe 27 years old.
Uh, Such a young pup.
Yep, that's what I keep getting told.
There you go. All right. So, what else you got on your list of picks here today?
I also have, for let's say my game pick is Ori and the Blind Forest for PC and Xbox One. It is $19.99. It is a fantastic game. Go get it now. If you love Hayao Miyazaki, if you love platforming along the lines of like Metroid or Castlevania, you
Mhm.
will absolutely love this game because not only is the game beautiful and so much fun to play, the music is incredible. In fact, you can get the music on iTunes, Google Play, Xbox Music, wherever you get your music from, you can get it there. It's
Wow.
great music, it's beautiful art, and it is already a contender for Game of the Year by one site. So I think that's pretty cool too. It's a fantastic game. It's a great story, and you should get it.
All right, so I can just go over to Twitch and watch people play this.
Yes. It I will, little disclaimer, it's a little challenging at times. It can be hair pulling at times, but it once you get past that part, you feel kind of rewarded because you did that.
Are we
So
talking like Ninja Gaiden stress
no,
level
no, no,
here,
no,
frustration?
not that
Okay.
bad.
Okay.
If
Ooh.
you've played Guacamelee, um, a little less challenging than Guacamelee, but nevertheless, it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's not anything I don't think any normal gamer could get through. So
Okay.
definitely something to check out at least. And
All right.
that's on Steam and Xbox One
Okay.
for 20
Nice.
bucks.
All right. So your last entertainment pick here.
So this doesn't come out officially till next week on Blu-ray, but Interstellar, we went to go see it in the IMAX, and that was one of the best IMAX experiences I've ever had. Another just beautiful, entertainment movie. I mean, it was great. It was awesome in the theater. I can't wait to get it on Blu-ray. In fact, Walmart has a special edition pack that only Walmart sells, and I'm gonna go grab one of those because they're sold out online now.
Wow. So what will be the kind of bonuses that you get with the
It
Walmart
has
version?
a special booklet. It comes with a special booklet, I think a poster, a bunch of digital content. The booklet is, they used to do a bunch of steelbooks. I think they might be moving away from steelbooks to this new type. I forget what it's called. It's kind of like it's a space age plastic thing that NASA helped develop. I don't know the full story behind it, but it's a nice, it seemed like sturdy booklet and that you can print on, so you get all the nice visuals of the movie all on the packaging inside and out. So
Okay.
but I'm a huge Interstellar fan. I think it's probably one of Christopher Nolan's best movies. Yes, better than Batman. I said it. um,
Wow.
but
That's high reviews there.
yeah, and I'm a huge Batman fan, mind you, so you should definitely check it out if you have not seen the movie. It is great.
Okay. Nice, nice. So, I mean, my little pick here is not as exciting as some of the stuff that you just talked about, but if depending on where you're living, and I definitely recommend downloading the Meetup app. Now, it's just you can go to meetup.com and also get the web experience as well. But being able to have it on your mobile device, available on iPhone and Android, and it's free. And Windows Phone users, your best experience for this is called Click, Clique.
That's what I was looking for. There,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is it's a very good apps, and it's great if you're looking for groups of people that may already be meeting in your area of certain things that you like. Say, for example, you're a fan of your local baseball team, and you want to find a meetup group of other people like that have the same interests as you or specific technologies. Or if you're a software developer, find a Java developers group or WordPress users. There's groups out there for so many things. Uh, get
That's
plugged in your community.
that's actually how I found our Windows meetup group. So
Yes.
I highly suggest it because I have a ton of fun every time I go.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that group unfortunately is not on Meetup anymore because once Rob, he handed
Left,
over
yeah.
he handed the reins over to basically us. It seems like, and James as well. So yeah, we do that. And Rob is actually living in China now, I believe.
Oh wow, good for him.
Yeah,
Something new.
I believe he moved at the end of 2014. His wife was getting ready to have a baby, and he was getting transferred. He had a really good chance to transfer to a position over there within the company that he was working for.
Well, that's
So
really cool.
so
That
he was able to do that. So yeah, definitely meet up. Get plugged in your community and find other people that share your interest and make some new friends.
Absolutely.
It's a really great way to do that. So that's pretty much it for that. Just want to, if you stuck around with us this long, cover a couple other little things real quick. Yes, we still have our Teespring campaign going for T-shirts. Anything that we raise from that will go to help purchase some upgraded equipment for audio presentation for our shows, and also anything above and beyond that, which I don't think we really need to spend too much on anything like that. So pretty much anything above and beyond that is going to go to buying things to help give away during the show as well. So whether it's phone cases or gift cards or maybe even the specific devices, we might do that as well. So
It's like buying a lottery ticket, but getting a T-shirt at the same time.
exactly. Yeah, so you can simply go to teespring.com/tech-informist, I believe, or you can find the link will be in the show notes as well. We do appreciate your support, everybody that's already uh, joined up to get one. We've still got to reach our campaign, otherwise they will not be printed. So help us out, spread the word, tell your friends, and we'll just keep trying to bring you more great content on a regular basis. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Google Instagram as well. Simply search Tech Informist. You can find it. Any content, comments or suggestions or feedback, we love hearing that. Dave, Daryl, everybody else, love your regular emails. Not everything we get to respond to, but we do appreciate reading all those as well. So you can send those to contact@thetechinformist.com. You can find me on Twitter at Kevin Harvell. Brad, where can people find you and get more involved with you?
You can find me on Twitter as well at Holy Shadows, which is also my gamer tag, minus the underscore. It's Holy Shadows, capital H or capital H, capital S.
Okay, nice. And if they wanted to watch you on Twitch, how could they do
That
that?
is a good question. I will let you guys know if you hit me up on Twitter and you want me to stream something that maybe I have, or maybe want me to play a little Ori. I will get back to you on that.
Nice. Yeah, maybe we'll shoot me a link or something, and I'll put it in the show notes. People come over and watch you play.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do that.
I mean, I know you play a lot of Destiny, don't you?
I have recently dropped that for the time being till the next DLC hits.
Okay.
Been catching up on my game catalog. Like I said, I'm a little behind, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Aren't we
beat as many
all?
as I can as fast as I can before the new DLC hits, because once that hits, I'll probably be sucked back in.
Gotcha. All right, so that pretty much does it for this episode of the Tech Informist, and we hope you enjoyed it. We'll definitely be seeing you again on Friday the 27th. I believe JJ is scheduled to be back, so hope everything is going well with him. He's doing all right, so don't fret, my pets, as people like to say. Uh, so for everybody here at the Tech Informist, thanks for watching, and consider yourself informed. And until next time, we are out.